Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legion Talk, episode number 55. Now, what we're going to be taking a look at is my review of a Masters of the Universe Revelations. That's right, Masters of the Universe Revelations. It was. That's the best way to put it. All right, HeMan Allies, we want. There you go. HeMan Allies, we want in Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2 by Gil Messias, August 27th. He-Man, Tila, Oko, Man-at-Arms, Roboto. Those are pretty much the main classic heroes in Netflix's Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1, who also appeared in the original cartoon. While the nostalgia-fueled opening credits of Revelation teased us with glimpses of the Mattel action figure artwork of so many beloved characters from the 1983's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, by the time Revelation Part 1 came to its cliffhanging close, you were probably scratching your head and wondering why Eternia was so devoid of its normally bustling numbers of champions. Despite, I guess if that's a way of saying that we took a big old dookie on the 1983 series. I mean, okay, cool. Despite a brief appearance by Mossman and a non-speaking cameo by Fisto, some fans were left questioning why so many classic good guys were missing in action. There's that Dookie we talked about. Perhaps Kevin Smith, who's a giant knobgoblin, and the creative team behind the show just didn't want to overstuff that first half of the season with a bunch of glorified cameos. Like, it's two main characters. That's just stupid. Or maybe they're simply just saving some surprises for the second half of their planned story, which Smith hinted at during his recent interviews with Looper, who wrote this article, by the way, and they're pandering to his jack knob wagon. Oh, by the way, Kevin Smith admitted on live stream that Netflix and he don't care what you think or what you want in television. That's really a really super good thing to tell your paying customers. Yeah, we don't give a crap what you think. Imagine. My goal is to grow my two channels and maybe a couple more to great entertainment possibilities for the people who love to watch me. They may not always agree with me, and I may not always agree with them, but you know what? I'm never going to tell them, you know what? I don't care what you think. That's a fast way to have people like, oh, okay, dude. There might be somebody who, there might be, people who support me and go, oh, well, he told old dude over there who he don't care what he thinks because they had a disagreement. What happens if I disagree with him? And they all walk. Good job, bozos. Which characters appear in the epic conclusion of Masters of the Universe Revelation remains to be seen. But throughout the course of the original show, as well as 2002's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, watch that one instead if you actually want like a real show. The most powerful man in the universe was often accompanied by some mighty allies. With He-Man seemingly down for the count, Eternia's remaining warriors are going to have to call upon their former comrades if they intend to stand a chance against Skelegod and his evil forces. Who should answer Tila's inevitable call to arms? Since Revelation is considered to be a direct continuation of the 1983 Filmation series, we decided to take a look at some of the He-Man's most noteworthy comrades from the original cartoon. These are Eternia's heroes, and we'd love to see them reintroduced in Revelations Part 2. Buzz-Off, Mechanic, Cyclone. Yeah, none of these guys are in it. Zodak, Granomir. I remember Granomir. There's Orko. Been a long time. Manny Faces. Wow, there's Driella, Ram Man, Stratos. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, the ending of Masters of the Universe, Revelation Part 1 explained The World of Eternia has returned to our screens and Netflix. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, I get it. Created by Clerks and Dogma director Kevin Smith. Imagine still being credited on those things from, I don't know, decades ago. Masters of good luck with Clerks 3, dumbass. After talking crap to fans. Yeah, good job. Masters of the Universe Revelation chronicles what happens after the dramatic final battle between He-Man, voiced by Chris Wood, and Skeletor, Mark Hamill, following Royal Guard Captain Teela, Sarah Michelle Gellar, who, in my opinion, she was not right for that voice acting role. But you know, I love Sarah Michelle Gellar and Buffy, too, and other movies, like Scooby-Doo. Big advocate for the Scooby-Doo movies. Loved them. I did. I'm not even ashamed. But I didn't think she was right for this role, even though as good as she is, and she is good, didn't think she was right. But you know what? That's not my call. I'm not judging her or her acting based on this role. As she's tasked with reforging the Sword of Power in order to save the universe. If you're like us and have devoured all 5 episodes of Part 1, yeah, it was. You'll no doubt have some questions about what the ending means for Eternia, Subternia, and Preternia. The short answer, the Legion of Heroes will definitely have a huge fight on their hands to face a threat so deadly it will undoubtedly tip the balances of power in the universe. That said, their journey to find the missing Sword of Power wasn't exactly easy, which makes Part 1 ending even more devastating. Yeah, I know, I watched it. Teela steps up and looks like a man in the process. Literally, somebody did a Photoshop on Twitter, took the hair off and gave her like a buzz cut. She looked like totally like a dude. She looked like she could box Dolph Lundgren in Rocky 4. Seriously, like what? What's with the armor chest plate? And some people are like, "Oh, well, she needs better armor because now her previous armor, boobs don't just disappear. You realize that, right?" I know that it's all about empowering women, but the empowerment of women is the fact that they have unique bodies. Boobs don't disappear. Her armor originally had room for that. You know, as a former law enforcement officer, you know, women's Kevlar vests, bulletproof vests, they had a little bit of a cuppage for their breasts, you know, because it's uncomfortable. It's not like a man. Women and men are not the same thing. I hate to tell you this, and that's not a shot at nobody. Sure, He-Man wears the hairy loincloth, and Skeletor is a wizard with just a skull for a head, but there's two of the most iconic anime characters of the 90s. Masters of the Universe treats them with a level of gravitas that spells all silliness while still staying true to who they are. But most surprisingly, the series gets rid of them both by the end of the first episode, since Skeletor was trying to get his hands on all the magic that throws through Eternia, as He-Man puts it. Yeah, we meet Scareglow. I'm not gonna emphasize. Surprisingly, the pair are both vaporized when He-Man absorbs all the energy through the Sword of Power to keep it out of Skeletor's grasp. Yep, they're both vaporized and they're sent to their remaining worlds. But Teela eventually realizes, you know, she goes off in exile. She gets mad. She gets mad that Adam lied to her, and she like yells at Adam's parents, the king and the queen, and everybody else for keeping the secret from her. You know, like, you know, she was wronged. Dude, his parents just lost him, and you're yelling at his parents? I mean, you could yell at the other ones, but like, really? Oh, and quite frankly, his father didn't know, just his mother. However, He-Man's death paves way for Teela to be thrust into the spotlight, and she renounces her new man-at-arms status and goes off in exile as a mercenary. But Teela eventually realized that she has a purpose alongside Orko. Probably the best character in the whole series is Orko. Seriously. The rest of them, Orko, Andra, and Evelyn. Well, Evelyn does a pretty good job, too. I do like. She journeys to reunite the two blades and makes up the Sword of Power. Blah, blah, blah. They run into the Subternia, meeting Scareglow. Scareglow was actually a lot of fun to see. The animation is beautiful. I have no problem with that. Preternia and Prince Adam. They go to Preternia. They see Prince Adam. I have to. I'm going to. Skeletor becomes Master of the Universe. These are just quick spoilers. It's just things only adults notice in He-Man. Okay, well, I'm not gonna read that crap. Rotten Tomatoes says that He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1, 94% fresh on the tomato meter. Garbage. 38% audience score. 38%. Look, I literally made notes, and I'm going to go through them real quick. Episode 1, The Power of Grayskull. Episode, exciting intro, great animation. Sarah Michelle's voice acting is off. Who didn't like Orko? Yeah, they said that nobody liked Orko. Who didn't like Orko? Action is good. Teela's poor me rant when finds out that it falls extremely flat when she finds out that Adam is He-Man. He died, and He-Man died, and so did Skeletor. Yeah, it's garbage. The Poison Chalice, episode 2. The women kicks Stinkor off a cliff. Teela Captain woke hairstyle. Yeah, she has the whole half shaved SJW. Sorry, Gothics. Yeah, they ruined the hairstyle for you. Andra wearing Jamaican flag colors. Yeah, I noticed that. Because reasons. I don't know. These are just quick jot downs. Motherboard seems like a weird shot at Christianity. Oh yeah, no, it was no. They were kind of worshiping Motherboard and stuff like that. You know that Hollywood has a problem with Christianity. The ladies are stupidly OP. Yeah, they really are. It's ridiculous. Voice acting is still lackluster. Teela and Andra, they kind of paint them as being a little bit closer than they probably should. Maybe there's a little flowage. You know what I mean? Little bit of the L and the BTQ. At least Cringer helped balance out the real emotion in this episode. Yeah, Cringer, it was good. Episode 3, The Most Dangerous Man in Eternia. Pirate Skeletor joke was nostalgic. Yeah, because it was a corny 80s nostalgic joke, which I did like, because that's what it was. The 80s were corny. They were. It was it's not great comedy now, but at the same time, the cheesiness is fun. Teela made fun of the nostalgic joke as teenage humor. Well, most of us were kids when we watched it, you jerks. Man at Arms more dangerous than He-Man. I do remember that he but Man at Arms though is a good character, but he came and he kind of wiped the floor. Time to merge is it kind of had a Mass Effect ripoff on the music, in my opinion. I don't know. These are just quick jot downs. Teela's father bows down to her to ask for her forgiveness. He bows down to her instead of actually asking for forgiveness, and actually trying to. It just, I don't know. It was kind of weird. Orko and Teela. Orko definitely helped drive the emotion in the show drastically. Sarah Michelle Gellar is she's still kind of falling flat on the vocals. Teela and Evelyn held back by men talk. I forgot about that. Yeah, they talked about the fact that they were stuck behind great men, He-Man, Skeletor, that they could have had their own destinies if they were not held back by. I'm just like, dude, really? Orko kept the emotion in the show alive because he talked about the fact that he got to venture around the universe with his friends, and that he was super grateful for that. Orko was literally the best character by far. His literal line was, because when the adventures are over, that all you're left with, good friends and happy memories. That's a good line. I like that line. Merman attacks. gets his butt kicked, comes off knee, like, what about Merman? You forgot Merman. Like, you're a villain, dude. What about Merman? Like, really? Episode number 4, Land of the Dead. I really liked Scareglow. Scareglow was good. Looks great. The interaction between Orko and Evelyn actually looks genuine. It actually has a good solid build. But you're also talking about Lena Headey, who is a good actress from Game of Thrones. I'm not too sure who the Orko actor is, but he did a very good job. Very, very good. Orko managed to like ground the show with feelings. I like the He-Man versus HeLa fight. Then it got weird when she started fighting herself, and you're like, you're so wonderful, but you're afraid of it, kind of nonsense. It was kind of like Captain Marvel, like, you're afraid of being great. It's like everybody knows you're great, but you're afraid of being great. Like, what? That's not a struggle. That's not a struggle. There's a hero's journey for a reason. She could have had more of a hero's journey. It was very Captain Marvelous. It was awful. Scareglow versus Orko was the best part of this episode by far. By far. Then they seemingly killed a legacy character of the franchise, Orko. He died. He sacrificed himself to kill Scareglow. And I was kind of like, dude, really? Episode number 5, The Forge at the Forest of Forever. Starts with Orko's funeral. I was still shocked that they let that happen. Teela saves Adam several times during the race. They race like all the other champions of Eternia. And Adam chose his normal form instead of his champion form. And he was the only one to do so. So Teela had to save him like, I don't know, 3-4 times. It was nonsense. Teela was mad at him for not telling her the truth. Robota forges the power sword back together, but dies in the process. So another I literally said another legacy character removed. Is Teela going to give Adam the power sword? Yeah. So they get back to Eternia, to Grayskull, and Teela and they're literally like hordes attacking, and Teela holds on to the sword and doesn't give it to Adam for like, I don't know, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Skeletor stabs Adam before he becomes He-Man. They're trying to put the return Grayskull to its glory and bring the magic back to the universe. Adam goes for the power. He's about ready to become He-Man. Skeletor jumps out of Evelyn's scepter with the ball on it and stabs him from behind, takes the power sword. Evelyn joins him again. So she goes through from becoming a good character and stepping out and bonding with Orko and connecting with him, and he gives his life for that. And then she just waltzes back to Skeletor like she had no personal growth. She didn't even really falter for that long. Could have faltered a little bit longer. Like, maybe try to be like, maybe she could have like tried to convince Skeletor, maybe no, don't, for like 2 seconds. But no, didn't. And Adam lays there dying on the ground as Skeletor becomes the new champion because he has the power. And, it looks all sorts of like psycho and stuff, which is like super awesome. In my opinion, there were some good emotional moments. Orko, whoever that voice actor is, let me see if I can find out who it is. Griffin Newman, this gentleman right here. Griffin Newman. God bless you, Griffin Newman. My computer's going slow. Sorry, guys. I've been filming a lot of videos. I think it's getting tired. Like, I'm getting tired, and I still have more stuff to do. Griffin Newman voiced Orko. By far, by absolute far, the best emotional range in the series. And now we're going to Master of the Universe, the audience reviews. A half a star, some terrific animation, but an awful story, which is not worthy of the original. Half a star. It sucks. If you were expecting a show about He-Man, then go someplace else. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, got it. Half a star. Was a huge fan of the original as a kid. This was a disappointment. 1 star. If you have to mess with the classics, you must tread carefully. Alas, it was not to be. So this one's better. 3.5 stars. While the show's quality can't be quibbled with, its good, the branding is way off. It's more akin to She-Ra than He-Man. Yeah. Otherwise, aside from some really bad puns, the show delivers the goods on some childhood nostalgia. It did have some childhood nostalgic points, and I'm not going to sit here and bash on it nonstop. I'm not going to do it. But I mean, look at all these. Okay, we'll see the 2 star. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I guess I wouldn't dislike the show as much as I do if it was set in its own universe. Making this a sequel to the original show just doesn't make sense from the continuity standpoint. The show is also kind of boring, and that's worse than being bad, frankly. The 2002 show is leagues better than this mess, yes. I would suggest giving that one a go instead of wasting your time on Revelations. This new show is about as revolutionary as a wet fart in an elevator. Oh, man. 2.5. I don't know. I just don't know if I like it. Yeah, I feel you, dude. Can we circle out? I guess not right now. There's probably a way to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. Okay, here we go. I'll do a 5. I watched the original show when I was a kid every day. That show was great when I was 5. Now that I'm an adult, I mean, it's absolutely unwatchable, laugh out loud. I mean, that's usually how nostalgia works. It's got a nostalgic feeling, but it kind of hurts to watch. I really like this, and I ranked higher than I should have just because of all the dudes living in their mom's... Yeah, oh, really? Mom's basement still with their toy collection and the torches they're holding for some kind of toy commercial from the 80s. For me, I love Kevin Smith. I thought this was great. See, this is the nonsense. Like, dude, you're just as bad as the people who dive bomb it. It was a take on the whole... Whatever. Dude, we're moving on. You're a loser. This is the last one I'm going to read, and I'm going to end this right here. It's fine. The side characters are pretty good, with Evelyn and Orko really standing out. Yes! Evelyn and Orko. Jeffrey H., you are a champion, sir. Thank you so much. It's not the best thing ever, but it was a decent way to spend about 25 minutes at a time. Yeah, well, I watched most of it in one sitting, so I don't know. I split it about in half, like episode 3, halfway through. I give it a shot and keep an open mind, but keep an open mind to it not being the camping show you may have watched as a kid, and you might enjoy it. Yeah, so no, I absolutely agree. Evelyn and Orko stole the show. Absolutely. If you want to give it a watch, I tell you, give it a watch. You don't have to take my word for it. I mean, I'm not the all deciding factor, but I see it for what it is. It wasn't a He-Man show. It was marketed that way. Kevin Smith lied, which is bull snot. And then he lied again. And then he told us that, Netflix and him don't care. So if they put out part 2, I'll watch it to review it, but quite frankly, I'm not expecting much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll definitely talk to you guys again real soon. See ya.